this lecture is on hunger and eating. Hunger motive is one of the primary drives that helps maintain stasis in the body. Hunger works on negative feedback loop in the body that allows us to maintain homeostasis in the body. When the body loses weight, the person's hunger increases. The person eats more and then the weight is regained. Even though this makes dieting difficult, it does protect us from starvation. It's a natural thing in our body that is set up to prevent us from starving to death. One of the first places that psychologists looked for clues at hunger was the stomach. When the stomach gets empty, the walls of the stomach contract and it stimulates hunger. The stomach releases a hormone and that sends a strong hunger signal to the brain. Just as the stomach signals hunger, it may also play a role in telling the brain when it's time to stop eating. This message, this signal, also plays a role in emotional eating. When we get stressed, we get anxious, we have that, that sort of overwhelming feeling. Your stomach creates that message to your brain that it's time to eat. This will help. So it's not something that's strictly emotional, but our brain signaling, our stomach signaling our brain that it's time to sort of put some food in there, even though it may not. One way to define weight and obesity is to look at the body mass index. A BMI of 25 to 29.9 indicates the person is overweight. A BMI of 30 or more indicates obesity. BMIs over 30 are correlated with higher incidences of diseases, including type 2 diabetes, heart disease, as well as linked to some cancers. This is not a 100% guarantee if your BMI is 30 that you're going to get diabetes or you're going to have heart disease or you're going to get cancer. It is not a guarantee by any means. Just the same as if you have a low BMI of 25 or 26 or even 10%, 10, whatever your number is, does not mean that you won't get these diseases. It's just been looked at in research and there is a higher link to these diseases with those who have a BMI of 30 plus. Depriving yourself of foods is one of the reasons that most diets fail. For those of us that have been on a diet, Jenny Craig, quick weight loss, South Beach diet, any of these type keto, any of these type of diets, they're typically restrict something. They restrict carbs, they restrict fat, they restrict calories, they restrict sugar, whatever it is. Anytime you remove something from your diet, that diet is most likely going to fail. That's why those in the health industry and the fitness industry, they tell you not to cut it out completely, but to lower your intake. A little bit of sugar, if you're not diabetic, is okay every now and then. It's not okay in mass quantities, just like anything in life. Even chicken is good for you, but if you eat, 30 pounds of chicken in a day, it's not good for you. But if you eat, a small little chicken breast or whatever, that leads to healthier habits. When you begin to draw from your fat reserve while dieting, our body takes steps to avoid starvation. So when we're starting to lower our calories, we're starting to restrict things from our diet, our body reacts to that, right? It says, uh-oh, this isn't coming again, right? So I stopped eating carbs. So all of a sudden my body realizes carbs aren't coming, even though it's got plenty of fat reserves to go off of, because that's why we're dieting, right? It doesn't care about that. It knows that it has it, but it also knows something isn't coming. So it starts to send these signals, fast pace, boom, 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 carbs, 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 because your body is all of a sudden realizing we might starve because it's not there. No, that's not the case, right? You're not going to starve if you're still eating, but your body doesn't realize that and it sends these messages to your brain. Biological factors also play a role in some people's problem with weight. Our cardiac rhythms may influence how our body uses the energy that we take in during eating. When we eat as well as what we eat really influences, our weight line, our number of weight or our waistline. Um, People who tend to be opposed to mornings are also more likely to eat later in the day or skip breakfast. So if you're not a morning person, you're probably not eating breakfast at 8 a.m. You're probably skipping breakfast altogether or eating breakfast at noon or 1. I know, I think we've all been there at some point. Another biological factor that contributes to obesity is having a low resting metabolic rate. So if you have a low metabolic rate, and you can see there's vitamins out there that help you increase it, exercise can help you increase it, but that's sort of the bottom line of what a lot of health individuals are looking for, is raising that metabolic rate to help you bring that weight number down without restricting yourself on certain things. You should restrict yourself on certain things, sure, right? We shouldn't eat 17 candy bars a day. We probably shouldn't even have a candy bar a day, but you don't want to completely remove it from your diet, because guess what? Your brain and your stomach is going to tell you that's all I want is a candy bar. If I just had a candy bar, it'd be fine. And then what happens when you have the candy bar? Oh, I need another one. I need another one, because your body's in starvation from the fact that that hasn't been there. The mind plays a lot of tricks on us with our body when it comes to eating. I hope you enjoyed the lecture.